Hi, everyone. Kelly Mahler, occupational therapist, and I'm taking some time to talk about interoception and early learners. So, thinking about those early years, maybe birth to about 5 years old, and that's such a critical time in all of our lives in development. And the same is true for interoception, the development of the interoceptive sense. We know honestly pretty little about interoception's development. There are a lot of brilliant scientists out there studying that as we speak. And what we do know is that interoception is present at birth, like that conscious awareness of how our body feels. That's all about part of interoception, right? One of interoception's biggest jobs. And if you think about, many infants are born into this world noticing comfort and discomfort within their body. That's interoception. And so when they, for example, notice discomfort, they are wired to do something, whether it's cry or move their body in a certain way to alert other people that their inner balance is off and needs attention. And we also know that as we experience the world from day one of life, that our interoceptive system is continually responding. And in some cases, our body responds in a really comfortable way. And whatever we're experiencing, whether it's a person or a place or a toy or a situation, it's making our body feel interoceptively comfortable. And then we also have aversive or uncomfortable responses to certain experiences. So whether that be maybe a certain place or a certain person or a certain situation or event makes our bodies respond in an interoceptively uncomfortable way. So we're learning about the world through our interoceptive sense, and we're connecting with things that promote that internal comfort, but also that internal discomfort. So that interoception, or that conscious awareness of our internal sensations, becomes an important factor or foundation of self-regulation. We learn over time what things make our body feel comfortable, and we tend to seek more of that out. And we also learn what things make our body feel uncomfortable to downright painful, and we tend to avoid or try to get away from those things for safety and protection. And so our bodies are wired to respond to the world through this interoceptive sense, and our bodies are wired to act on that internal comfort and discomfort. We also know that interoception is so vastly different for each one of us, and what your body might possibly feel like when you need food is probably different than what my body feels like when I need food, or what your body feels like when you're tired or sleepy might be different than what my body feels like when I'm tired or sleepy. So we all have such unique inner experiences, and that our interoceptive experience is shaped by our neurology and what we're born into the world with and how we're wired, but it's also shaped by our lived experience. And so my colleagues and I are working really hard at discovering the ideal strategies and approaches to use from day one of life to give us the best chance at nurturing a healthy and helpful interoceptive experience. So let me tell you just a couple brief tips that we have. We have so many more, but this is hopefully enough to get you started. So tip number one is using interoception talk or body talk. And if you've heard me discuss this topic before, you might have heard this strategy. It's one of our favorites, but really this is about where the caregivers are talking out loud about the way their body is feeling during daily activities, like, oh my goodness, my hands feel so warm when you hold it, or oh my skin feels so comfortable when you're cuddling me, or oh goodness, my stomach is growling right now. Whew, I must need some food. So just talking out loud about the way that their body is feeling during daily activities, getting that interoception vocabulary out there, really explicitly showing that it's important. Many of us have these sensations in our body that can be important to pay attention to. And then gently, as the child grows, we shift that curiosity to the child. And our second strategy or tip is called body curiosity. And this is really all about where we are curious and wondering about that early learner's inner experience. And we can do this even before they might be ready to respond. So you can say like, oh, like I noticed that you're crying. I wonder what's going on. Or I noticed that you're moving your body this way. I wonder what that means. I wonder what you're feeling. So we're using I wonder statements. We're getting curious without any expectation of response. We're just getting curious. We're not labeling like, oh, I see you moving your body like this. That means you have to go potty. That's labeling someone's experience. And when we label someone's experience, we are at high risk of being wrong. That we are often wrong when we are trying to label someone else's experience. So we want to shift that to curiosity. And I wonder what's going on. I wonder what you notice, or I wonder where you feel something in your body, or do you feel something in your body? So just being curious without an expectation of response. And then finally, our third tip is all about inner validation, and really just thinking about the way that we respond to our young early learners, and responding in a way that's validating their inner experience. So, for example, this is something that I definitely made mistakes when I was a parent. I still make tons of mistakes as a parent. But like, for example, like when my child would fall and they would like scratch their knee and they'd have like a little cut and they'd be crying, and I would come from a loving place and I would be like, oh, it's fine. You'll be fine. Brush it off. It's no big deal. Instead of validating their inner experience in that moment, they were crying. They were clearly feeling something. And I wish I would have just been a little bit more validating of their inner experience. Like, oh my goodness, like, oh, I see you're crying. Oh, I wonder what's going on. Let me see. Let me look at where I see you're holding your knee. Let me check it out. Instead, I was trying to do my best to ease the situation and tell them, oh, no big deal, just brush it off. But that was really invalidating to their inner experience. So we're really shifting and considering how we're responding, and is it a validating way, showing our early learners that it is so important to listen to the way your body feels, and I am here with you, trying my best to listen alongside of you. Until next time.